Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you to another TTI program of health. Okay, I'm going to start again. I'd like to welcome everybody to this TTI health program. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good week. And we hope that today's program will be a blessing to everybody who's here. And also it's something that you can share. All of our programs are recorded and they're on YouTube. So if you've got somebody who you would like to share the blessing with or tell them about health, everybody, I believe every single person is interested in health. Wouldn't you agree, Shirley?
Totally agree.
So my name is Edgar and my co-host is
Charlene. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to do the program slightly different. For all those TTI members that are on the show at this moment, I want you to be ready because I'm going to ask you to reveal yourself. And I want you to tell me an aspect of health that you really appreciate. So that's just to get you ready. So I'm going to be asking the TTI members of the team to present themselves and tell me something that they really appreciate about health. So the viewers can see who the team is. Okay. So I'd just like to welcome you all. We have a really, really good program for you. Before I do that, as a little, just to get you ready, last week we had a children's symposium with Barbara O'Neill. And Shirley, would you like to just give us a little snippet of what we did last week?
Well, we had a special last week, so it was laying really the foundation of the household foundation. If there's two parents within the home, of them agreeing with one another, but not even if they had two parents, even if it's a single parent in the home, but they may have the in-laws or their parents as well. So the influence around the child when it comes to health, their food that they eat, what time they may go to bed, and so forth. So there's no conflict within the home around the child. So that's what we discussed on the Saturday. And then Sunday, it was more of, wasn't more to do with health, basically like children upwards, up to even teenagers of health and what you can do for them when it comes to nutrition, or I know some people may be struggling of different types of ways to control their child as well. So there were questions regarding that. So that was dealt with on Sunday. And that can all be seen on or watched on our YouTube channel.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Shirley. As I said, any programs that we've done and you've missed, you can go to YouTube and catch up there, or you can tell somebody about it. Right. So before I'm going to do before I get Shirley to do the disclosure, I'm asking all the TTI members, the team comprised of different people in different places. If you're on the platform, please, I want you to show yourself and tell me something that you appreciate on health, or something that you're trying to aspire to. So that's all TTI members. So I want the viewers to see us and see that we're willing to take part. So who would like to be the first to
yes, please
speak?
Yeah, you speak.
Sorry?
You speak first.
Me? No,
yes.
no. I'm asking the questions. I'm speaking right now. So I'm asking for another TTI member to show themselves and tell me what their, is an aspect of health that they really enjoy and they want to tell us about it. So who's going to be the first? And plus, I want the members to. I want the people who we're trying to provide to also know us as the team. So who's going to be first?
Okay, Edgar, I'll go first. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jonathan Curlew, and I'm a part of the TTI team. I do enjoy all aspects of health, and I do, Edgar.
Come on.
I, and I am very appreciative of TTI, the variety of different speaker that comes on to speak. I'm learning so much. I'm not no expert in health, but I'm growing as the show continues to grow. Thank you.
All right. Who's going to be next? And if you don't step up to the plate, I'm going to be calling names. So
I'll go next.
All right. Thank you, Shirley.
So my name is Charlene, and as Jonathan said, I am anything to do with health. I love starting from going to school, doing health and social care, doing university. I did health and well-being, nutrition science, and then doing herbalism course. Anything to do with health, that's what I love to do. And being a part of this ministry with friends and family, it's been a joy. And having speakers and then meeting them and they're becoming a part of our family as well, which I do truly enjoy, and learning quite a lot when it comes to health.
Thank you. Very good, Shirley. Who's next?
I'll speak. Good afternoon, everyone. Many of you know me. I'm Sharon, Edgar's wife, and I'm part of the True Temperance International core group. But you're all part of our family, so hey, that's great. With regards to the 8 health laws which we promote from the New Start principle, I'd say, well, they're all good, they're all important, but ones, well, everybody likes food, but anyway, I'll leave the nutrition side out. I really, really, really love sunshine and exercise. Those 2 things, God knew, okay, God knew. I love sunshine and exercise. I feel great afterwards. It's a wonderful way to get to see the world that we live in, going out for walks, cycling, even rowing, if you're that way inclined. It's just wonderful. So I'm so grateful for the health principles that God has given to us, and that's going to help us to have abundant life. And remember, health is wealth.
Thank you very much, Sharon. That's excellent. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? Or I don't want to have to call names, but because I want the viewers to know who we are. So who would like to step forward now?
I'd also like to add that our presenters today are also part of the team.
That's true. And I don't worry, I'm not going to leave them out.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Chris, part of the team. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you, Chris.
Could we see you, Chris, please? Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris. I've got it. This might be poor signal, so if I cut out, forgive me. But I love health. I love every aspect of health, especially incorporating the 8 laws of health in my personal life. I like a life free from pain, and I understand that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we go by the scriptures when it comes to our health. So, of course, God has established a way in which we can live an abundant life where we enjoy the proper functionings of every system of the body. And so that's what we promote here on TTI. And I like to enjoy it myself personally, so I will say in the scripture, 3 John 2, sorry. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'm going to ask our presenters today, which is Noel and Marie. They are part of the team, and they're in a different country. And although we're many, many miles away, they are still part of our group, and we see them as our family. And so I would like Marie and Noel, would you like to say something before you do your presentation?
Hi, good morning, Edgar, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm saying good morning. Pardon me, as you mentioned, we're in a different time zone. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. Edgar asked a question about, what is it that we enjoy or we like about health, right?
Yes.
One of the things that still fascinates me is how fearfully and wonderfully we are made, and how, God knew from time that, man's body would be degenerated because of work and all sorts of things, and how he has made us these simple things, the food and the herbs, that he has given us, all these plant life, that if we, become intelligent as to how we can utilize these, how it, has its way of regenerating the body, and, we become so renewed, and I just think that's a real blessing. That's something that continues to fascinate me, how our body is capable of extracting the properties from our food and our herbs, to maintain our body system, and to, where disease, when disease sets in, if and when that is disease set in, that our, we utilize these wisely, that our bodies can be restored. So yeah, that's what I like about it. I'm not sure what Noel wants to say.
One thing I appreciate about, I embrace every aspect of health, but one thing I really love and appreciate about health is the whole aspect of nutrition and eating the right kind of food, what it does to our bodies, and how it helps us, how it help us to be free of pain, like Chris said earlier on. Another thing I appreciate about health is the connection it can make with help us to make with other individuals. It connects us with people, and it helps us to reach out to others in a very meaningful way. It's all good and well for someone to come and for us to say, oh, I sympathize, I understand what you're going through, but to be able to share and to help them to do things that can alleviate those pains, and most time it's just changing their diet, nutrition again.
Thank you very much, Noel and Marie. I'm not asking anybody to do what I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to say one of the reasons why I am so into health is at an early age, my father passed away. And he had a brain hemorrhage. And I know what good health can do to give you longer life. And so I, from then, decided that I was going to change my lifestyle, because I think by changing your lifestyle, it can make a difference. Not only for good health, but also there's spiritual aspects as well. I don't believe the spiritual and the physical is separate. People want good health, which is good, but there's also a spiritual aspect as well. So I'm just blessed to be part of this team and have the relationship with all those that are involved. And that's why I just wanted everybody just to do a quick share. Now, I know there's other members on the team that are not here, and obviously they can't speak, but they know that they have our blessings as well. So without further ado, we're going to carry on. Shirlene, are you available?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, we're going to do our disclaimer. So if you could read for me the TTI disclaimer, which we do each week.
Okay. So only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe for illness or disease. Any information disclosed or discussed at the TTI Zoom talk show are for educational and informational purposes only. Please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease you may be suffering from.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to just carry on. We're just going to do the slides for this week. My apologies, we didn't have a challenge last week. But I'm going to do the advertisements, and then we're going to jump into the program with the health speakers from with Noel and Marie. So could you just help me, Shirley, by doing the advertisements? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's today's. So we don't really need to speak about that. That's going to be on in a minute.
Okay, so next week we're going to have Dr. Gandhi. He's no stranger to us. He's been on our platform a few times, talking different health topics. And next week we're going to be talking about gallstones. And I know this has been a health issue for quite a few people who have gallstones. So please join us next week as Dr. Gandhi discusses with us all regarding gallstones and how to what's the word, help it. Okay, so this is for those who are on YouTube, and this is our URL.
Those on Sabbath.
Yeah.
I mean,
You see, someone needs to mute. Oh, it's done. Okay. So this is for those who are on YouTube, and this is our URL web browser for you to write down or type it into your phone or tablets or whatever you may be using for our Telegram group. So we have separate ones. We have a women's one, a men's one, and a spiritual health one. Those who are on Zoom, it will be shared with you shortly for you to just click the link, and it will take you straight to Telegram. But please ensure that you are that you have downloaded the Telegram app in order for it to work. So this is our URL link for our Telegram group, and this is where we discuss about health topics, whether it might be the challenge or health issues. I know we've been talking about herbs on there, all different things when it comes to health, and the spiritual health, that's totally different, where people want, and when it comes to asking for prayer or the Bible study recordings or links, or encouragement, words of encouragement. So that's the spiritual health group. This one is our donations page. If you wish to donate to TTI, we do want to say first of all, for those who have, hello?
Lord, so we're just trying to enjoy the beautiful creation.
Say that again, Chris.
He's out walking, so I've just muted him.
Oh, okay. This is our donations page. We just want to say, first of all, thank you to those who have made a contribution, a donation to us. We don't just do a Saturday show at 3 o'clock. Sometimes we have our specials. So last week we had our special, which was on a Sunday, as well as the Saturday. We also, some of us will hand out literature. We'll do Feeding the Homeless project. Hopefully it will be physical health classes. If we're due to the lockdown, hopefully it will ease up and we're able to go out physically and meet people and hold lectures, health classes, and so forth, and training. So this is what we do. And we do thank you all for joining us, even if it's through prayer as well. If it's not donations, we do thank you. Whether it's prayer or words of encouragement to us, and the donations as well. So thank you to you all. On a Tuesday, we have our weekly Bible study. It's Alvin. He did Tuesday gone. He's doing this Tuesday. I think it's still with the sanctuary. Is it right, Sharon?
Yeah, that's still the theme that's currently running through the studies.
Yeah, so although it's got a different face and different name, it's Alvin McQueen. We haven't managed to change the poster, but it's Alvin McQueen for a while, for a bit now. He'll be doing these studies with us on a Tuesday. On a Thursday at 7, we have essential oils class as well, essential oils and health. Last week we did children's health. This week we will be continuing as a part 2, and it will be talking about how essential oils can help when it comes to children's health needs, whether it's asthma, eczema, bed bites, cuts, bruises, orange, whatever maybe not all of them, because it's quite a lot when it comes to children, but we're going to just choose quite a few that's quite popular when it comes to children. Sleepless nights, bedwetting, so oils that can help when it comes to children. So that's what we're going to discuss next week, Thursday, or this Thursday, I should say. Not this week, it'll be the following Tuesday, the 29th of June, 6:30 to 8. And I'm just going to say what this one is about. So on Sunday, the 29th of June, this is a webinar talk taking place of how to set up a successful treatment room and ministry in your community. And it's for those who have done some training in line with those who may know of medical missionary, or has done anything to do with therapists. There will be more information posted in our Telegram groups, WhatsApp group, but there is a contact information number as well. I think, I can't really see it on here. If not, there it is, contact for the ahreformers@gmail.com for more information, but we will put this poster in our Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, so that you can have a look at it there as well and make contact.
Just for clarification though, Charlene, it's a Tuesday, not a Sunday.
Sorry, Tuesday, 29th of June.
Just a quick mention that there is a cost involved, but because of the special day of today, we're not going to go into that.
Yes, thank you, Edgar.
But that will be put, when it goes on the different platforms, the cost will be revealed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlene, for that. Without further ado, we're going to go to our presenters for today, Nola Marie. They are coming to us from sunny Jamaica. It's not so sunny in England at the moment, and it's not as warm either. So I don't know if you could just tell us how it's going in Jamaica, Nola Marie, before you start your presentation. And welcome.
Greetings, everyone. It's very warm and sunny here at the moment in Jamaica. We thank God for allowing us to be here. Since we've been here over the last couple of months, we've been involved in quite a bit of work. I think it was maybe about a month after we got here, even before we settled in, we get involved in house-to-house visit. Because of the constraint with COVID, we weren't able to set up, or we weren't too keen on setting up anywhere. So what we've been doing at the moment, we've been doing home visits. And also, we're seeing where slowly our home is becoming a little clinic, because from time to time, people just turned up like that. We'll be here, and someone just knocked at the door. That is what is happening to me, that sort of thing. So we thank God that since we've been here, we have carried on with what we've started in the UK. And by the grace of God, we are aiming to grow from strength to strength. We will be establishing here at our home, we'll be establishing not so much a lifestyle center, but we're gonna have a little sort of surgery where people come in and see us on a daily basis. People might want to do different therapies and stuff like that. Those are some of the things that we're hoping to be involved in as time progresses. But we thank God that we're here. We haven't yet really get our hands dirty in terms of country living, in terms of planting. We've done a little, but not much, not at any level that can sustain us. And those are the areas that we will also be looking at: country living, you know, a bit of farming and stuff like that, and try to become self-reliant as much as possible.
I was just about to correct Noel Edgar to say that I've been getting my hands dirty.
Okay.
Because already I've been harvesting like vegetables like callaloo and kale, spinach, scallion that I've planted. And we also had like tomatoes. Last week I was harvesting tomatoes, so we were able to have some organic tomatoes this week.
Good.
So
Very
yes,
good.
we've been doing a little. I've been doing a little.
Excellent. So the floor is yours now. Obviously you're gonna do a part 2. I'll hand it over to you.
Okay,
Thank you as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for joining TTI again, everyone. And like Edgar just mentioned, today we'll be doing a part 2. So I think it was on the 1st of May that we did part 1, where we presented on the lymphatic system and just given an overview of what the lymphatic system is, and how it helps to keep our bodies going. Today we're going to do a part 2, but we're going to kind of just focus more on one aspect, which is the liver, and we will aim to show the connection between the liver and the lymphatic system. And as Shirley talk about the program for next Saturday afternoon, and that will be presented by Dr. Gandhi, which is looking at the gallbladder. I'm just thinking it's not coincidental that we're doing the liver this week, because the liver and the gallbladder actually work together. So we'll be presenting on the liver, like I've just said, and we're going to, before we go into that, just kind of do a brief overview of what we did last time. So if there is anyone today who didn't actually listen to the first presentation, they will kind of get a background or information as to the importance of the lymphatic system, and then begin to make that connection today with the liver. All right, so I'm going to share the presentation. So just allow me to share the presentation. Just bear with us while I just get that sorted. Okay, I think that's us now then. Okay, so lymphatic stagnation was what we actually covered the last time, and we looked at what are some of the things that cause the lymph to become stagnated, what preventing the flow of lymph in our bodies, and what can happen to our body system when lymph become stagnated or is pooling in the body.
And just before we move any further, one of the things we have to establish is what is the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system can be viewed as the sewage system or the drainage system of the body. It is 3 times the size of the circulatory system.
3.5.
3.5 times, sorry. Mm-hmm. Unlike the circulatory system that has as its as a pump, which is the heart, the lymphatic system depends on our movement to get around the body. Now, what are some of the things that the lymphatic system, what are some of what's the purpose of the lymphatic system? It helps with the transportation of what?
Fatty acids.
Fatty acid, nutrients, and it does an exchange. What do we call that exchange again, Marie? Can you remember what we call that exchange?
Interstitial, it drains interstitial fluid from the blood. So the interstitial fluid that comes out of the blood vessels, right, goes into what the lymphatic system, which is what makes up lymph, the lymph fluid that goes around our body. And if, you know, when we think about the lymphatic system, this is part of our immune system, yeah, because like Noel said, it's a sewer system. It is what helps to keep or ward off like diseases and bacteria and all these things that enters our body. So I think I'll just show, see if I could find a picture to show, you know, the lymphatic system. So if you can see this slide, the lymphatic system is made up of lymph nodes, and these are all around our body. In the neck area, we've got the cervical ones here. Under our armpits, we've got the auxiliary lymph node, and in the groin, we've got the inguinal lymph node, and just behind the knee, we've got the popliteal ones there as well. And we've got organs that work with in the lymphatic system that helps to make up the lymphatic system. We've got the spleen, we've got the thymus gland, we've got the bone marrow as well. All these are part of the lymphatic system, and it, you know, this is what helps to defend our body, yes, from disease and from foreign invasion. So really, it is a very important body system, all right? So that's just an overview of the body system, of the lymphatic system rather. In Leviticus 17 verse 11, it says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood. So to a great extent, you know, the condition of our blood determines the kind of body system or the health of our entire body. And as we go through this presentation, I want you all to, you know, keep thinking about this scripture in Psalm 139 verse 14. It says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul know it right well. I want you to think about, you know, how fearfully and, you know, wonderfully we are made. And lots of people would say, oh, you know, people were, you know, evolved. But when we see how intricately our body system work, we cannot give any praise to anything or anyone else except a mastermind creator who is God, who has, you know, not just made us, but just so much thought and work went into, you know, creating mankind, you know, the systems that are working in collaboration, you know, together. You know, no wonder David says, I am what? Fearfully and wonderfully made. So I want you to contemplate on this scripture as we go through this presentation today.
One of the things that we need to bear in mind as well is that the food that we eat from time to time, it has a lot to do with the kind of body that we have. And, you know, one of my favorite authors in the book Medical Ministry, page 13 and 14 said, those who gratify their appetite and then suffer because of their intemperance and take drugs to relieve them may be assured that God will not interpose to save health and life, which are so recklessly periled. And what I want us to be mindful of, our food should be our medicine. And every time we're about to put something in our body, Well, the first thing we should be asking ourselves, is this going to create an inflammatory state, or is it going to be helping to make good blood? Is it going to regenerate my cells, or is it going to destroy my cells? These are the things that I want us to ask ourselves, because remember, if we, because of our own gratification, you know, our intemperate practices, we destroy our health. We must first remember, never forget this, that God will not interpose, God will not intervene to save life nor health. All right? Let's move on.
Okay. So we've just had a look at that, what the lymphatic system is, all right? Now, just to recap that the lymphatic system, you know, has, according to Dr. Christine Schaffner, she says, and she put this quite clearly, that the primary function, that the lymphatic system has what? 3 primary function, all right? And it is watching over the immune system. Remember, I mentioned before that the lymphatic system comprise of the lymph nodes, which are, you know, the quarantine area, basically. So when our body trap bacteria and all of that, those are like inside, and that's the reason why we find that if you've got like swollen lymph nodes under your maybe armpit, in your groin, in your tonsils, your adenoid, right? This is the body's way of signaling that, your body has an infection, right? So we shouldn't be trying to, like I mentioned last time, you know, as a first resort, say we're taking out our tonsils or adenoids, and I see a lot of that done to children, right? This is the body's way of signaling, right, that there's an infection, and it's also the body really working, doing what it's meant to do. You see, this is how God made us, right, to actually have this system in place, so that when harmful things, bacteria, viruses, chemicals that we're exposed to, that the body actually, you know, works to remove this from the blood system. Also, another function of the lymphatic system is to help large molecules like hormones and lipids enter the bloodstream. Now, we inside our intestine, like fatty acids, right? Fats are not able to be absorbed into the blood readily. So it is being carried by lymph, which is a fluid in the lymphatic system. So this is how it helps to, you know, large molecules to get into our bloodstream. It's first being carried by the lymph. And also the lymphatic system helps to return fluid to the heart, and the fluid is being returned to the heart at the thoracic duct, which is here, all right? And we will look at that a bit further. So that's what Dr. Christine Schaffner says, and simply put, right, simply put, it's to remove debris from the cell, it transport clean fluid back to the blood, it also drains excess fluid from tissues, and it transports fat from the digestive system, all right? So that's just saying it in a simple way.
Now, we're going to be looking at some of the signs of a lymphatic stagnation. And sure enough, most of us might be able to identify with some of these things that, some of these signs that are listed here. Now, one of the first one we've got here, and these are just a few, by the way, swelling in your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
That is one sign that you're having lymphatic stagnation. Feeling stiff or sore when you wake up in the morning, especially in your fingers, you know, they feel stiff. You can't really cleanse your fist as you want to,
Mm-hmm.
or make a fist as you want to. Cold hands and feet. Some of us, we can't sleep at night without wearing a pair of socks, because every time, you know, we get into bed, our feet are just very, very cold. Brain fog. And this is something I've noticed, that it's not just affecting older folks, it's affecting a lot of our young people as well. Brain fog, chronic fatigue, get up in the morning and you feel like you're ready for bed. Bloating, excess weight, you have all these weight and then you can't shift it. You've tried so many different things. You've gone on all of these yo-yo diet and nothing seemed to work. Edema, dry or itchy skin, sinus infection, increased cold and flu, weakened immune system, and like Marie mentioned earlier on, enlarged lymph nodes, allergic reaction. A lot of people today have things like nut allergy. We have seasonal allergy. There are just so many different things happening. Unexpected injury or illness. And of course, a number of ladies will testify about this one at the bottom, cellulites. These are just some of the indicators that the body is holding lymphatic fluid.
Can I just say that not all the time you might end up with a swollen finger, that it's going to be lymphatic stagnation, So if you have some, tissue damage or so, definitely you're going to have the stiffness of the finger and all of that. So I'm just...
It's you that moving everywhere.
Can we mute, please? I'm not sure who it is, but they need
She's
to
been
mute.
going all over this place at the house.
I think it's Usui who needs to mute.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. So like we were saying that these are some of the signs that you will see for lymphatic stagnation. There are other things that can cause some of these in some circumstances, right? But most times, if you're having lymphatic stagnation, you're going to see a few of these. So these are just indicators, all right? Okay, so William James, this is what he said. He says, is life worth living? It all depends on the liver. And this is where we're going to kind of now focus on the liver, yes, and its connection with the lymphatic system. And this question that he asks, is life worth living? It all depends on the liver. Is highlighting to a great extent the importance of the liver and the many roles that the liver carry out, and how, the health of your liver, how, important this is for the wellness of your entire body.
Yeah, I notice it's called the liver. And, like Psalm 139 said, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And now, a lot of us might not be aware of this, that if you're having liver problem, there's a possibility that you might end up with kidney problems as well. Diabetes, we always talk about the pancreas, but what about the liver? Yeah, if you have an indigestion, is it just something going on in my stomach? Is it just low stomach acid? Are these the only reason? It's the liver. If I'm trying all of these detox programs and they're not working for me, what about the liver? Have we ever stopped to think about the liver? The liver is one of the most important organs in the body. It has over 500 functions. And, I think it was Barbara O'Neill, her first word said, the liver is the production manager. Production manager of the body. So the liver's got quite a number of function.
Okay, so it has over 500 functions, and of course we'll not be able to mention all of them. But if you look on the screen, you will notice that that some of them have been categorized on this poster, right? So the liver, helps in our immunity, right? And they have like what we call phagocytes, which helps to destroy pathogens and bacteria that enters our gut, all right? The liver helps with what? Blood clotting, right? It also filters blood of toxins, and it destroys old and damaged blood cells. And this is where it, excretes it or eliminates it through feces, right? The liver is also responsible for storing what? Fats, proteins, right? Glycogen, which is glucose, but it's stored as glycogen in the liver. It's responsible for storing vitamins, copper, iron. And when we go, if we look back at even just proteins, which we get amino acids from proteins, and the amino acids are like the building blocks of our cells. And the cell is like the smallest part of any organism. So it's the cells that are going to make up the tissues, and the tissues make the organ build. We got different organs that comprise our body, make up our body system. So if, for example, the liver isn't functioning, we recognize that the building blocks of the body is going to be what? Impaired. We're going to have maybe smaller quantity, which is going to have an adverse effect on each organ organ in the body. Also, when we think about metabolism, the liver produces bile, which is very, very, very important. This bile is what helps to clear waste, right, from the body. And it also is what break down what?
Fat.
Break down fat, all right? And we need fatty acids, all right? We'll talk about that a bit more. So these are just some of the many functions of the liver. It's also, I should mention here, that it's in the liver that the inactive form of thyroid hormone, which is T4, which is produced by the thyroid gland. It's in the liver that it's being activated, right? To T3, that the body can actually use it. Yes, the thyroid gland does produce a small amount of T3, but the majority of the conversion of T4 is done in the liver, right, and converts it to T3. And something that's very important to note is that every organ in the body needs thyroid hormone, right? So when you come on to metabolism, do remember that. And so these are some of the, the functions of the liver, but we're going to go on a little bit more to show the connection between the liver and the lymphatic system.
Now, the liver is the largest internal organ in the body. It may function in, its main function is sometimes understated, underestimated, and sometimes overlooked. Now, you dare not do a detox or try to clean your body up without cleaning the liver. It is important. As night follows day, your detox will be short-lived because the liver is one of the main detoxifying organ of the body, and therefore you must clean the liver in order to achieve optimum benefit from your detox.
Okay, so I've already highlighted some of these points here. That the liver, process nutrients from the blood. It's involved in the production of cholesterol, and it removes various toxins and combats infection, right? And we talk about the storage of vitamins, and it maintains also, levels of fat, amino acid, glucose in the blood. And it's in the liver that protein is being synthesized. And also, like I talk about the regulating of hormones, and it also manufactures hormones there. So, its importance cannot be overlooked. So what's the connection, Noel?
The liver is very important when it comes to the when it comes to the lymphatic system, and there is a direct connection here. One of the first things that we need to note here is that it's inside the liver that 25 to 50% of the lymph is made. So the health of the lymphatic system depends on the liver. Remember we said the lymphatic system, the lymph fluid, the lymphatic system rather is a drainage system of the body. And 25.
You're not going outside.
Right. In the gut, the blood vessel absorbs nutrients, food and toxin and other stuff. The liver is the first place that all these are transported to. So just imagine for a moment, someone have something like irritable bowel syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
They might have candida, one of those other issues. One of the first place that these inflammations are going to be moving to is the liver. Remember, the liver is like the oil filter that we use in our cars. And it's there to grab all the toxins in the bloodstream. So just imagine the liver is overladen with all kind of toxin, fluids, and all sorts of stuff. Now, we are running into trouble here because the liver is what actually helps to clean up the lymphatic system. Our liver processes free radical that is caused by oxidative stress. If the liver is toxic, lymph filtration is impaired. So just imagine that the fluid is this lymphatic fluid that is being made inside the liver. It is toxic. And all of this toxic fluid is going back out into the body, circulating throughout the body. You know exactly the kind of pain, the buildup of inflammation, and we can name them. Sinusitis. All of these different conditions are going to be developing in our bodies, also a result of the liver being in an unhealthy situation.
And you might be wondering, what's the relationship with sinusitis and this lymphatic fluid, or if your liver isn't filtering correctly because it is overladen with toxin, all right? Now, imagine that your liver becomes laden with toxin. The filtration process in the liver is going to be slowed, all right? You just imagine a sieve that has a lot of debris and particles, solid particles sitting on it. It takes longer for that juice to pass through the sieve. It's kind of a similar thing. I'm using this analogy for you to kind of visualize what's happening here in the liver. As this lymph fluid passes through the liver, there are a lot of toxins, whether it be like chemical toxins, biotoxin, whatever kind of toxin. You're eating a lot of junk food that also causes lymph stagnation, right? And the liver is filtering slowly. Lots of time you find even particles passing through, still going in the lymph and not being filtered. Now, this lymph fluid, right, goes up and it enters the bloodstream at this thoracic duct here. And there's a connection between the sinuses coming down here, right? There we've got the lymph nodes here, right? And if there are particles here and clogging going on here because of unfiltered particles still in the lymph, it causes congestion here. And that's one of the things that give rise to sinusitis, because of the congestion here. And because there's no proper drainage going on here, there's a block up, and that's what causes your sinus to be activated. Right? Remember that the sinus glands here are part of the lymphatic system as well. Okay.
Now, in addition to some other things that can happen in the liver is a very common one, and this is the one that we call non-alcoholic fatty liver. Can also occur. Now, what are some of the symptoms for fatty liver symptoms of fatty liver? One of the first one is inflammation. When we have fatty liver, your inflammation markers goes up. So our bodies start producing more inflammation, And you know, inflammation causes what? A lot of pain, aches and pains all over. You know, you can't sleep, you're experiencing insomnia. All of this is linked to the liver. Another one is, you know, another common symptoms of a fatty liver is what we call scar tissue or psoriasis. This develops when there's a chronic inflammation for far too long
The liver.
inside the liver. Another one is decreased bile. Decreased bile. Now, bile is made in the liver and it's stored in the gallbladder. If there's decreased bile, what do you think is going to be happening in our body? We're going to have indigestion. We're going to have all sorts of digestive issues. Now, another one, especially for men, low testosterone. Low testosterone will also experience things like metabolic syndrome. And what are some of the metabolic syndrome diseases? We're talking about high blood pressure. We're talking about diabetes. So I hope we're beginning to see the importance of the liver. Another one, we talk about pot belly, or some people might refer to it as bear gut. You see someone, you know, their legs are very skinny, but they have a little pot belly. That is again a clear indication of fatty liver. What's actually happening there? Fluid started building up around to protect the vital organs because of what is going on there. And another one, very common one, heart disease, high cholesterol, clogged arteries, all of these things are as a result of a fatty liver. These are some of the symptoms and signs of a fatty liver. Now, what are some of the things that actually cause the fatty liver? Now, we have this thing, the one that is referred to as de novo lipogenesis. This is pretty much where refined carb, consuming too much refined carb, this will create this problem inside our liver. High fructose corn syrup, this is one of the other causes of a fatty liver. And of course, having alcohol or creating a fermented state, not having the right food combination inside our stomach. So we're eating fruits and vegetables in the same meal.
Eating and drinking.
Yeah, eating and drinking as well is another reason that is another factor that can cause some of these things. So these are some of the things that we need to bear in mind as we go along, and these create lymphatic stagnation, because if the liver is congested, if there's too much debris in the sieve, not much can pass through. Now, there are two essential nutrients that we can take to help to improve our liver. Two, and I'll just give you them quickly. One is choline. You can get choline as a supplement in capsule form, or you can get choline from a number of different food, things like almond. Almond are very rich in choline. There are quite a number of other food. Cruciferous vegetables, which we'll touch on in a little while, are very high in choline. Vitamin E complex, this is also very important. So it's important to bear these things in mind as we go along.
Okay, and no, just looked at fatty liver, right? That another thing that we want to think about just backtracking a little bit, is that we made a point that that if you're experiencing anything like irritable bowel syndrome, if you've got an autoimmune condition, right, it means that food particles will pass through the wall of your intestine into your blood. Now, when your blood travel from your intestine, the first place it goes to is your liver, all right? And going back to talking about detoxification, if you do a colon cleanse, right, and you don't clean up your liver, you still have a lot of problem. Or some people, this is something that we get quite often. You tell people, okay, your liver needs sorting out. And the first thing that they want to do is jump to do a liver cleanse, right? But you shouldn't do a liver cleanse before you actually do a colon cleanse, all right? Or even if you do that liver cleanse, you still need to go back and do a colon and then do another liver cleansing again, because these particles, all right, are able to travel from the intestine straight up, I think the hepatic duct, into the liver, all right? And so you're still going to have toxin being passed from the gut into the liver, even though you've just done the liver cleanse. And you can find that this process of liver cleansing, if it's not done correctly or properly, you're still going to have the same problems, or you just find that the alleviation of whatever issue you're having is just only going to be short-lived. So that's one thing that I want to point out. And something else that the liver does is also actually it processes free radicals. Now, free radicals, everybody will have free radicals in their body, right? This is just something natural that happened as a result of the oxidation that takes cellular at a cellular level in your body. Now, when these free radicals are produced, right, they actually destroy your good cells. But our bodies are so fearfully made that when these free radicals are being created as a result of oxidative stress, God has put a system in place, and it's called antioxidants. Antioxidants fight free radicals. All right, so that's something that we want to know. We look at antioxidant-rich foods in a minute, but antioxidants fight free radicals. And the mother of all antioxidant is glutathione, right? And glutathione is produced in the liver, all right? Glutathione is produced in the liver, and we're going to be looking at how we can help to maintain good liver health in a minute, and we'll come back to this point, but that's something that has to bear in mind. And the highest percentage of glutathione, all right? The highest percentage of glutathione, rather, I said glutathione is produced in the liver, but what I would really wanted to say instead is that the highest percentage of glutathione is actually found in the liver. And no wonder why it's there, because this is the seat of free radicals, all right? And another point to make, in terms of this connection between the lymphatic and the liver is that if the blood is laden with toxin, the liver by default is going to be laden with toxin. And once we have this, the slowing down of the lymph, or the pooling of lymph, it's going to cause what? Poorly filtered lymph. And remember, lymph is that fluid in the lymphatic system. All right. Now, something that we highlighted before, but just want to emphasize again that the lymphatic system is responsible for what? Absorbing and transporting fatty acids from the digestive system. Bile, which is produced in the liver, is needed for the breakdown of fats in the intestines to make them absorbable. So if we don't have the liver functioning properly to produce this bile, okay, or adequate amount of bile, it means that we're not going to have our fats being broken down, yes, or they're not going to be in an absorbable form that the body actually utilize it. And remember that we need these fatty acid for the health of our cells. All right.
Now the liver also clean up complex IgE, and if, for example, we're low in good bacteria inside our stomach, the liver must be clean in order for our body to be able to absorb and maintain a balanced ecosystem. This is very, very important. Thyroid hormone in the liver convert T4 to T3. Every organ, every single organ in the body needs the thyroid hormone. And I don't know, Mari, if you want to just comment on this a little bit more.
Okay, so the thyroid is what is responsible for the metabolic process, right? And remember, every system, every organ is reliant on that. So if our liver isn't working properly, the high chance that our T4s are not being converted into T3, which is the active form of the thyroid hormone, so the body can actually utilize it. So we can see that if the liver is being, is not working properly, that, so many illnesses can come upon us, So we need to make sure that the liver is working well, and we need to keep it clean, right? We've already talked about this bit about the lymph returning to the blood system at the thoracic duct. Okay, so having heard this, what are some of the things that we can actually do to boost our liver? And remember, when you're boosting your liver, or you're helping to maintain the health of your liver, you are also helping your lymphatic system, which is the body sewer system, to function properly. Okay, so in our part one, we talk about hydration. Water moves lymph. So if you're poorly hydrated, right, you will be creating some amount of lymph stagnation. All right, so we need to have a good source of water, and we need to be drinking adequately each day. Also, we also need to be having what? Food rich in what?
Fiber.
Fiber, because fiber also help to what? Bind toxin. All right. And sometimes you find a lot of people will have constipation. If you're being constipated, it means that the body is holding on to a lot of its what? Waste. All right. And if the waste is inside your body and isn't coming out, it is creating what? More toxin, and it also leads to inflammation within the body. So keep yourself hydrated and have, rich sources of fiber daily.
Okay, earlier on I mentioned of cruciferous vegetables being high in choline. This is very important. Now, increase your intake of cruciferous vegetable up to what? About 9 cups each day. And you can determine how you want to have it. Are you going to juice it? Are you going to steam this? Or are you going to have it raw? This increase glutathione, and like Mary just mentioned about glutathione, this is something that is made in the liver to fight free radical. It also improves the body with good bacteria. So if you find that you have a very low stomach bacteria, you're getting a lot of bloating and what we refer to as heartburn and all of these sort of things, it could be that your gastric juice might be low. It could also be that your gut bacteria also is very low. Whenever the liver is damaged, bacteria is able to travel from the colon into the lymphatic system. And we're talking here about bad bacteria. So it's important, very important, to look after our liver. Probiotic help to balance good and bad bacteria in the gut. And what we need about 25% of the bad bacteria and about 75% of the good bacteria to create that balance inside our stomach, inside our stomach. But sometimes what happens is we get very low in bacteria, and the good bacteria are outgrown by the bad bacteria, and it creates an imbalance in our ecosystem in the body, in the gut.
Okay, and just to remind you that about 70%, 70-80% of our immune system is really in the gut. And we can understand that if our liver isn't functioning properly, why is it that sometimes we get all these swelling across our bodies as well? Because we're going to find that the bacteria from our stomach, our gut, intestine, right, start moving in the lymph. Right? to other parts of our body because it's translocating. We can actually move in the lymph to other parts of our body. And that's sometimes how we end up getting, you know, swollen lymph nodes, because our lymph is trying to find a place to dump these you know, bacteria that is in it, that is being carried around in it. Okay, what else can we actually use to support the liver? I know you want to talk about the castor oil pack.
Yeah, castor oil pack. This is a very ancient remedy that has been used for a number of different ailments in the body. Now, castor oil pack drain the liver and open the channel of elimination. And I wanted to show a little demo video on how, you know, this castor oil pack worked, but unfortunately, it did not really materialize. However, let me just explain to you how this, how to do this castor oil pack quickly. If you notice there, they've got a towel and piece of cotton cloth, a hot water bottle, and a bottle of castor oil, and this is organic cold pressed castor oil. Now, if you're using castor oil to do a castor oil pack, it's it's best to get castor oil from a you know, that is being stored in a glass bottle. It's very important. Castor oil has the ability to seep deep into the body, and what it does, it's actually break up any particles, any abnormalities when it's applied to the skin. So any abnormalities in any parts of the body. Some people use it even over their knees if they have things like bone spurs and all of that. So how is it done? First of all, you can warm the castor oil in a saucepan. You warm the castor oil and then you immerse the cotton cloth into the castor oil and then place it over the affected area. So in this case, we would place it over the liver, and you know the liver is right under the right rib cage, so you place it right there. And after you put it there, some people, you know, in order to avoid your clothes getting messy, some might want to use things like plastic, but it's better to use something like a bandage to put around it. Then you can use a towel to put over that area, and then you apply the heat from the hot water bottle. Why do you need to put an hot water bottle? Castor oil is very thick, and in order for it to remain as liquefied as possible, so it can do its job, you need to keep an hot water bottle over it for about 40 minutes. And this is something that you want to keep on maybe for up to 2 hours each day. If you've got things like fibroids, this is one of the things that you want to do at least 4 to 5 times per day. I notice it increased the lymphocyte in the liver. So it's very, very, very important. And just one other thing that you can also add to the, you know, that you can also apply when doing this castor oil pack. If you want to make it even more potent, what you can do is use what we call a DMSO roll-on, and it looks just like the regular roll-on. And DMSO can be used as a carrier to move things into the affected area. So you rub the DMSO over that area, then you apply the castor oil pack, followed by the bandage to keep it in place, and a towel to sort of keep the heat in, and then you put a hot water bottle on top of it. Very, very effective. People with different illness, different ailments, just about everything. Endometriosis, it can be used. Constipation, it can also be used over a period of time to help to alleviate some of those problems. So this is one very important way of helping to detoxify the liver.
And also notice by default as well, it helps with the thyroid. If you're having a thyroid condition and you recognize that your liver is sluggish, that this castor oil pack can also be used, you know, to help with the conversion of T4. Okay, so what else helps the liver? liver cleanse, and there are many different forms of liver cleanse out there. One of the things that I should say that if you haven't got a gallbladder, you should be like a liver flush. Yeah, there's also what is called bile push. There are different ways in which you can actually clean up the liver. I have done liver flush on several occasions, and I've even got photograph. I was going to insert one, but I didn't want to be too graphic, with stones that have been expelled from the liver. I believe some are from the gallbladder as well, because there were different colors. If you go on YouTube, you can see videos and pictures of what these look like. And if you want to do a liver, flush, there are different ways that you could do it. But I always say, consult with someone who knows, because you don't want to get yourself in any trouble or create any problem. If you haven't got a gallbladder, you shouldn't do a bile push or liver flush. All right?
And like we've mentioned again, just as a word of caution, it's always best to do a colon cleanse before attempting to do a liver flush.
Yeah,
very important.
And the other thing is, in some liver flush, they have the use of grapefruit. If you're like on statin drug and all, and this is you shouldn't do that sort of liver flush as well.
Substitute for lemon.
Yeah, so you can look at alternative, but speak to someone who knows, and because the kind of liver flush or cleanse that you do may be dependent on your individual circumstance. Okay, coffee enemas. Now, you want to talk about that?
Coffee enemas, they're very very, very important. And again, this is another ancient remedy or procedure that's been used over the years, and it's using an enema, using the coffee, the ground coffee, and boil this coffee. And I know some people might be saying, but some of us, we don't use coffee. Well, this is like, you're not ingesting the coffee. What you're actually doing, you're actually inserting the coffee,
via the rectum.
Mm-hmm. And when it enters the rectum, it goes through the portal vein into the liver. And it's in the liver, and it actually works sort of similar to when someone goes on a dialysis, because the blood every 3 minutes would have passed through the liver, and it would be purified we're using this coffee. And what you'd find after doing a coffee enema, that there's a surge of energy. There's also an increase in the production of glutathione, and it also helps the gallbladder, in storing the bile as well. So it's a very, very, this is one of the therapy that is being used by the Gerson Clinic down there in Mexico as a cancer protocol. I remember I heard Elder Mayman Wilson said you can do up to 7 coffee enema within a day if you have certain condition. Now, it's important to know that when you do a coffee enema, it's going to deplete some amount of the good bacteria inside your stomach, because after you'd have kept the coffee inside the
intestine, rather.
Yeah, in the intestine, it's gonna pull some of these nutrients out, and therefore it's important to take probiotic mm-hmm. after you've done a coffee enema. And it's also important to do quite a bit of green juicing. Mm-hmm. If you're very low in energy, this will help. This mm-hmm. will help because, like I said, it helps with the production of glutathione, and it has so many other benefits mm-hmm. to our body. It's one of those things that from time to time we should get done, especially if we are busy and we just can't find the time to stop and to do a proper liver cleanse.
And just to say, the coffee enema, so by default, the primary reason for coffee enema is for the cleaning of the liver, but by default, it will also help to clean your colon. And that's why Noel is mentioning that you need to have some form of probiotic after to replenish the good gut flora that you have lost while you were eliminating the coffee. Okay. A more conventional, sophisticated means of looking after the liver could be the use of infrared sauna, right? General sauna is detoxifying, but they've got some more, what should I say, modern ones that have infrared light built in it as well. And what the infrared light does, it penetrates, the deeper penetration. All right.
And it helps to drive things inside the
Yes.
body as well. So one thing that you can do as well is if, for example, using the castor oil, you can apply castor oil directly to the area over the liver, and then you use one of these infrared light. Let me just show you the one.
They're portable ones.
Yeah, they're portable ones that you can use. So this is one of the
but you know, can get it at any angle, any part of the body. So if you haven't got a sauna, you know, there are portable infrared lights that you can actually use.
Yeah, if you find it very difficult to put that wrap around you, what you can do, you can just apply the castor oil to the area, put a piece of cloth over it so to keep it in place, and then you can apply the infrared light to help to keep it in place.
And another thing is on when we talk about the castor oil pack, we showed one of these. Yeah, this is a water bottle. So don't feel like you have to go out of your way to get infrared light. It's just that it gives a deeper penetration and open up the cells easier, so whatever you're using can penetrate. But if you just rub a castor oil, or you put the castor oil onto the cloth and apply it over the area, you can just put one of these directly onto the cloth for as long as you can actually, you know, want to keep it on. And the heat from the hot water bottle will also help to open up the pores and allow the castor oil to penetrate. So there are different ways in kind of, you know, helping for deeper penetration. Okay. One of the things that we shouldn't overlook is deep breathing. Now, last time when we were looking at opening up, you know, preventing your lymph from stagnating, right? We look at breathing and how important this fresh air is to helping the lymph to flow, right? This will also benefit, deep breathing will also benefit the liver and help the lymph to flow better as well. In that when you deep breathe and the diaphragm move, right, it's as if it presses against the liver, and it gives a massaging effect. And at the same time, that gentle press also helps to expel things from the liver. So again, when you think about how fearfully and wonderfully made, we can see exactly what David was saying here.
Yeah, and like I've mentioned in our previous presentation, the part one, in order to get achieve good deep breathing from the diaphragm, we need to go on our back, lie flat on our back on the floor. And another way that we can, while we're lying flat on the floor, the only place that we can breathe from is the diaphragm. And one other thing that we can do as well, while we're deep breathing, we can move our left knee towards our chest area. Move our left knee, start to like you're crossing legs and pulling it up towards your chest area. And that will help to squeeze the liver. And you can do it alternately. So you do the left towards the right, your left foot towards your left knee towards the right, and you use your right knee towards the left. And that sort of pushes against the liver and help to squeeze toxin and other things out of the liver. Very, very important.
Okay. So there are lots of also supplements that you can use to aid the liver. And one of them is milk thistle, right? And it contains a flavonoid known as silymarin, and which is an antioxidant. And remember I said that the liver process free radicals, all right? An antioxidant is what counteracts free radicals. Okay, so milk thistle have this antioxidant property, right? And it also helps in the repairing of the liver, which is, so any damage that is caused to the liver, milk helps with the repair. And in a lot of protocols for cirrhosis, that also milk thistle is a part of it because of the excellent properties that it contains. And also milk thistle has the ability to increase the body's production of glutathione, right, which I mentioned before. And I also said that the highest concentration of glutathione is what? In the liver, because the liver is what combating the free radicals that that comes as a result of the oxidative process within our cells. And you know, free radicals is what is responsible many times for like the formation of cancers, right? And degenerative diseases as a result of what? Free radicals. So if we increase the intake of our antioxidant rich foods, we are also giving our body the tool or the mechanism, you know, helping our bodies to what? Fight free radicals, because sometimes our body can be overtaken by free radicals, and that's why sometimes health is not easily restored because of the amount of free radicals in our body, and our liver can't manage because we're not giving the liver the things that it needs to fight. So you want to talk about the next thing there?
Okay, increase. We're looking at artichoke leaves, and this is another product that help with detoxifying the liver. Now, increased production of bile in the liver. This is what artichoke does, and detoxify function of the body is made more efficient because it helps the various organs of the body to clear out toxic and chemical. It also promotes the growth of new liver cells. Isn't that wonderful? And it reduces fatty liver deposit and inflammation. So this is something very this is a very useful product that we should be incorporating in our diet. Now we're looking at supplements that we can take for the liver, and turmeric, another ancient food or ancient spice. Turmeric is an antioxidant that fights free radical and reduces the risk of developing fatty liver and other liver condition. We've also got here dandelion. Dandelion improves the ability, the body's ability to remove toxin while boosts the production of bile, protects liver cell. So it's important to use these things. And you know, you can also use the dandelion green to do to make a salad as well. This is very, very, very important. Yellow duck root. And if, for example, you want to do an herbal enema for the for the liver, you might not be too keen on doing coffee. Here's an herbal enema that you can do. You can use the same yellow duck root, you can use dandelion root, and you can use red clover. And this is a very powerful enema that can also, herbal enema that can also be used to detoxify the liver. Another one that also can be added to this, maybe just a spoonful of it, is bitterwood. And we'll be coming on to that one very soon. Just bear with us.
As Noel mentioned about using dandelion greens, things like dandelion green and rocket, we can incorporate in a salad, because anything that is actually bitter, any bitter herb and vegetable actually helps with the production of bile, right? And remember, bile does not only help to break down fat, but it also helps to detoxify the liver, to take toxin out of the system. So it is twofold there, and that's why the production of bile, which take place in the liver, is so important. So bitter herbs and vegetables, very important to cause the lymph to move and stimulate the bile flow. Another thing that is quite good is the Jamaican bitterwood, quassia, very good. And not only is it good for the stimulation of bile and all of that, but it's also very good for parasites. Now, parasites is one of the other things that cause lymphatic stagnation. All right. So bitterwood, and it's easy to use. all you need to do is get a bit of the bark, yeah, and just soak it in water for a couple of hours, and then you can maybe drink like about 4 ounces or so.
Yeah.
And that helps to get the lymph flowing, and also it actually kills parasites, especially I think it's threadworms and all
Yeah,
of that. It
yeah.
really is good for that.
Yeah, and by extension, it's a very, very good remedy for diabetes as well. If you've got diabetes, high blood, insulin resistant, this is one of the things that you can take as well. It helps also as a blood purifier. So this is very, very, very good to have. We have here on the screen, bitter melon. Bitter melon, again, anything at all that's bitter is good for the liver. Any food that is bitter, whether it's herbs or vegetables, very, very important to take for the liver.
Okay, so another thing that's good for the liver is selenium, which is a trace mineral, and it's also an antioxidant. And it helps with the preservation of the liver tissues, all right? So very good. If you're on a plant-based diet, a rich source of selenium is a Brazilian nut, all right? And I think pumpkin seed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get selenium, but also some fish also, if you're not on a plant-based diet, is a good source of thing like herring, good source of selenium. So we're just kind of whizzing on here. What else can we do? Okay. So there are other things that we looked at before that we can actually, use, well, let's forget about the apple cider vinegar for now, but like carrot poultices and stuff, we can use, bruises and put it over area like for lymph nodes and stuff. But these are quite useful if you've got like swollen lymph nodes. So this is just going over a little bit what we did last time. For those who didn't see that video or that presentation, and you might be having swollen lymph nodes. These are some of the things that you can use. You can apply a herb tea wash of one or more of the following herbs. All right. Remember when I said forget about the apple cider, because some people thinking about the apple cider vinegar, not taking it internally, but this is for external use. All right. You can use a carrot poultice also, and a castor oil pack, and this will be very, very helpful. Okay.
Okay, now we've got things like lymph nodes, and these are things that create a lot of problem. And you go to the doctor with a swollen lymph nodes, one of the first things they're going to probably suggest to you is to have it removed. Is that the best option? If God made us with certain organs or certain body parts, why should we be removing them when there are simple things that we can do to get rid of these things? Now, one of the simple thing that we can do is skin brushing. And I don't know if you can do a quick demo as to how you can do a bit of skin brushing.
Okay, for time's sake, it'd be good for you to actually just go on YouTube. This is my dry skin brush. This is something that is quite good to help lymph to flow, and you tend to just rub it on the skin dry, like it suggests dry skin brush. So not with oils or anything, and brush the skin. And why this is quite useful is because part of our the lymph flows just very close under our skin, in the fascia. And so, by brushing, we are stimulating, and we do it in a circular way. And so if there's not big bruise in your skin. So especially for women, if you cellulite, all right, you do a bit of dry skin brushing in those areas, that should help with getting the lymph flowing better in those areas, so you don't have the stagnation, giving your skin that bubble and that look. So do go to YouTube. There are videos there that show how to use a dry skin brush. And you can go back to the first presentation we did in May, part 1 of the lymphatic system, because we show quite a few videos there of different things that you can do to help with getting your lymph moving. Okay. I think this is what we have to share, and I hope you were able to see the connection between the liver and the flow of lymph. And I hope we were able to, again, highlight the importance of lymph flow in terms of keeping our body healthy. The lymphatic system is part, you know, there are a lot of white blood cells within our lymphatic system, and this is what helps to fight disease. And if this is a center of what helps to fight disease, why not look after it? Why not become more intelligent in what things that we can use? And we don't have to use a lot of supplement. It could just be a change in the things that we eat, things that we drink, and how we do things, you know, like getting fresh air, make sure we go for walking, using the health doctors to help us maintain good, optimum health.
Yeah, and in closing, just a few things I just want to remind us that we've touched on. And that is, we have to look carefully at what we're putting in our bodies. Just give you an example. Yesterday morning, someone called me. They're suffering with from lymphoma, and as soon as the person called, you know, asked, "Are you on any medication?" I said, "Yes." In addition to the medication, I said, "Have you been eating cheese? Have you been drinking milk? Have you been eating meat, fish?" And I was just naming them out, and he said, "Yes, I am eating all of these things that you've mentioned here." So our food plays a very important part in maintaining good health. Exercise is also important. Do things like walking, brisk walking. If you're in a situation or your circumstances dictate that it's not possible for you to go to walk about or be on your own, you can acquire a rebounder. And all you have to do is get one of those with the handlebar that you can just simply stand on it and just bounce. You don't have to be jumping on that rebounder, just standing on it. Eliminate sugar or all sugar-based product out of your diet. It's very, very important. Artificial additives, preservatives, get in the habit of reading your labels, looking at what are the things that are, you know, comprise the things you're putting in your body. You know, drink adequate amount of water on a daily basis. Avoid greasy, fatty food, fried food. Eliminate those things out of your diet. Avoid pickles, vinegars, and all of those stuff. We want to get those out of our diet, and just allow our bodies to heal itself and begin to see God's creation, enjoying the beauty of nature.
Okay, so it's back to you now, Edgar and Charlene. I was just trying to look at some of the questions in the chat. Yes, I'll go back to you and then.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Charlene, if you can monitor the chat and fire up any questions that come up. I've got a couple of questions which I also saw on the internet. So I hope you're ready. So I've got one here. It says, does parathyroid being taken out cause problems?
Yes, because anyone who has their thyroid removed, remember, the pituitary gland is what sends messages to the thyroid gland, which just sits here, just under the voice box, to stimulate it to produce T4 and a little bit of T3. All right. So if you have thyroidectomy where you have removed the thyroid gland, it means that you will have to live on synthetic forms of thyroid hormone, thyroxine in most cases, in order to keep your body going. Like I said before, the thyroid hormone is being used by every organ system in the body. All right. So you have to survive on synthetic forms.
Is that what you get from the doctor?
Yes, thyroxine in most cases. And even if you were hyper, we find that a lot of people with hyperthyroidism, which is where your body is producing too much. And if you've got, whether you've done the radioactive iodine treatment or if you had parts of your thyroid destroyed, that those people also get thyroxine as well to because the body needs T4.
Okay. Thank you for that. Next question I've got, Sherlyn, if you can get ready, I will see if there's anything in the chat. You can come in straight after this one. It says, okay. Can you spell, I know you spoke about choline.
Can you repeat that?
You spoke about choline?
Yes.
No, yeah. Did. Okay.
Somebody's asking, could you spell it for them, please?
Choline.
Okay. Sherlyn, have you got any questions?
Yes, so in the Zoom chat, someone's asking, can you do a coffee enema if you are on dialysis? And also when you do a coffee enema, do you lie on your right side?
Yes, the answer to that is yes. And remember we said that the kidney, if you do a little bit of anatomy and physiology, you notice that the kidney depends on the function of the liver. So if you're cleaning the liver, you're giving the body more fighting power to be able to combat some of the ailments that it's suffering from. I remember and I recall, just share this with you quickly. There was a lady, a relative of ours. She had kidney problems. And the doctor sent her home. And those of us who are in the health field would know that when the doctor send you home, and especially when they start administering what is called again, morphine, they're pretty much giving a smooth passage out. This was what they recommend for this lady. And the Lord would have it that when the husband went to fill the prescription, he went across to all the pharmacies and they said, I can't remember the exact complication that surrounded, but he wasn't able to fill the prescription. God would just have it that way. When I heard, I called immediately. That was here in Jamaica. I was in the UK at the time. I called him immediately. I called a relative of mine and said, please go and see this lady and give her a coffee enema. Remember, I'm saying the doctor pretty much sent her home and tell the husband to start administering morphine. Mm-hmm. And this lady, she did that coffee enema that afternoon. And believe it or not, in a matter of days, she was good to go again. In a matter of days, because it did so much for her. I remember one day we were talking and she said she felt really, 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 really low. And it was the same kidney issue again. And she tried to remember what it was that I told her to do. And she said she got up and she tried and she just went up, scrambled around, did another coffee enema, and she was okay again. So it does work. And if you go to the Gerson Clinic for things like cancer, one of the first things they're going to be doing, along with proper nutrition, they're going to ensure that you have up to 5 coffee enema within a day, followed by maybe 1 or 2 liters of green juice in between, organic green juice in between those coffee enemas, mm-hmm. just to slow halt the growth of that cancer. So it's very, very good.
Very good. Okay, I've got 2 more here. It says, is it okay to wash vegetables with white vinegar?
Is that just ordinary? Ordinary white vinegar. Well, vinegar we find is an irritant, and normally whatever you put on your vegetables, some of it is going to be absorbed into it. So I don't normally use white vinegar. I would just maybe do some lemon juice to wash the vegetable itself. And I think I've seen in the chat one just pop up where someone was asking about why not using apple cider vinegar internally, because for one of the methods that I showed on the screen of helping the lymph to flow, I mentioned vinegar, and I said for external use. There's lots of controversy about the use of apple cider vinegar internally. It can irritate the lining of your stomach. So that's one of the reasons why we do not advocate for the internal use of apple cider vinegar. And in cases where it's actually used, it's a one tablespoon or a teaspoon to 250 mils of water. So it is very, very diluted form that it is used if it has to be used, but it's not one that we really advocate for because it can actually irritate the lining of the stomach.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to say one more and then Shannon, if you can come in. I've got here, if we can use coffee enemas, why if we can use coffee enemas, why we cannot use it directly to drink it?
Right. Like Noel said, we are not ingesting it. It's the harmful bit is actually when you ingest it, and what it's like an excitotoxin as well, isn't it? Ingested, and it's going through the digestive process. But when you use it as an enema, it is not going through that process where it has that effect on the stomach. Yes, if you do a coffee enema, you do have a surge of energy, but it's not going through the same process where it will actually cause that harm to your stomach. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Charlene, have you got some questions?
There's one who, I'm not sure if this person may have to do a consultation, but they're saying, what do you advise someone who has had a thyroidectomy and a tonsillectomy?
I would just say to that, Charlene, you can't reverse that. It's already out. So what the person has to do is just make sure that they take care of themselves. You look after yourself, boost your immune system as best as possible, because by taking out part of your thyroid and your tonsils, that's really you kind of going into the body's natural way of defending itself, especially with the tonsils. So my advice would be, especially when it comes on to respiratory issues, that avoid things like, if you recognize that you react to like dust mites, cat, animal dander, those things like that, rubs and stuff, that you kind of avoid that, yes, and you boost your system with things like echinacea would be good for that, golden seal for upper respiratory issues, because the tonsils are there to protect that. That's part of your mucosal lining there, isn't it, to protect that upper part of your body. So I would say stay on a good plant-based diet. Eat food as natural as possible, avoid refined and processed food, and just keep, do whatever you can do to keep your body strong and healthy. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do, because you cannot get back your thyroid or your tonsils.
Yes, thank you, Maria Noel. Someone wants to know, how can they naturally enhance their pituitary gland, the one that's in the brain? I can't say it properly.
Again,
that one.
Again, if we're eating well and we're giving the body what it needs, our body will stay in balance. All right. One of the things that is proven to damage the pituitary gland is the use of MSG. All right. MSG actually destroy the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, yeah, which is part of the system that regulates different function in the body. So things like that, you know, stay away from it, all right? Eat well, you know, fresh food. Remember I said one of the things that damage our body is what? Free radicals. And our bodies naturally produce free radicals, yes? But God has given us the liver, right? And remember, we've got that glutathione, which is being formed in the liver. And it is what helps to fight the free radicals. And if we can fight free radicals, this is another way of helping to what? Maintain good health, right?
Yeah.
Make sure our vitamin levels, you know, we're not,
B6.
yeah, we are not down on our vitamins. One of the vitamins that also help with brain function, or B12, B6.
B6 is
Yeah.
very important as well. Try to do things like losing weight as much as possible. And
If you're overweight.
yeah, if you're overweight, and the best way to lose weight is to get healthy to lose the weight. Remember the pituitary gland, it's the major gland of the body. So you want to ensure that that one is functioning effectively. You want to do exercise. You know, those short outburst exercises are very important to do for the to benefit the pituitary gland. Other things you want to do, you want to look at your eating habits. Some people eat right around the clock. That is something, if your circumstances dictate. I mean, some people are in jobs that demand 3 meals a day. But ideally, if you can have 2 meals a day and just allow the body to rest so it can naturally heal itself, those are some of the things that can be done to help to boost the pituitary gland. It's not a quick fix, but those are just some of the things that readily come to mind that can be done to help the pituitary gland. Personally, for me, I would do things like castor oil packs, you know, on the head to help with the pituitary gland as well.
Okay, so I'm guessing that will be the same for this person, because they're asking regarding Baker's cyst in the knee. So Baker's cyst, it says Baker's cyst. I'm not sure
in
what
the knee.
Yeah, in the knee, Baker's. I've heard Baker's. I heard a cyst, but not a Baker's cyst.
The cyst, it can be one of you can do castor oil pack on the knee to help that. Also, why is the cyst there? Try to establish the cause. And could it be because of a buildup of calcium calcification in that area? And if that's the case, if it's a buildup of calcium in the area, then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to take things like vitamin K2, M4, M7. If you can get the vitamin K2 complete, then that is one of the things that you'd want to do. And you'd want to apportion that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the proportion of D3 that you'd need to take along with the K2 in order to achieve that. Magnesium also, doing regular magnesium soap would help in that area, but the castor oil pack over time, applying the DMSO before as area, and then the castor oil pack over the knee, at least for 2 hours each day would help.
Okay, thank you. There is another question. I'm just going to let this person know. Joy, Maria and Noah did mention different ways that you can detox the liver, and it is on our YouTube channel on True Temperance International. We talked about herbs and the castor oil pack, infrared. So if you like to go onto YouTube and type in True Temperance International, it will be on there of different ways you can detox the liver. Someone's asking for help to boost their energy levels as they're always fatigued, and they try to eat foods which can boost their energy, such as spinach, and they're also on iron tablets.
That one, I think, would need a consultation, because then you've got to get quite a bit of history for that one. So that person can contact us through TTI. and then we're able to address that. That would be based on an individual situation. What's going on? We need a bit more information in order to give advice on it.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm assuming it might be the same with this question as well. They said they have a I've seen this word before, but I can't say it. I think it's goiter in their chest, Goitre, and it's a bit slow, my thyroid production, but still it is within normal, and they cannot lose weight, and they have a lot of sleeping problems, memory problems, etc. And they are pre-diabetic. So Elizabeth, that will be a consultation as well.
Yeah, and there are some simple things that can be done even without a consultation. One is hydrotherapy, and that is something the person would probably want to do every night. An hydrotherapy, and that is
hot and
cold. So you apply an hot press to the neck. It's simple. You can get a towel and you can immerse that towel in some water, hot water, as hot as you can bear it. Squeeze the towel out, wrap it around the neck, and keep it there for 3 minutes. After removing it, you put an ice pack onto the neck, and you keep alternating for 15 seconds. Then you put the hot towel over again, and you keep doing that for about 20 to 30 minutes every night before bed, and that will help to.
Always end with the cold.
Yeah, and that would help as well.
And also, if you're having a goiter, in many cases, it's because of the lack of iron, and what you're describing seem to be hypothyroid condition with the goiter and the fatigue and that sort of thing. But again, that's a consultation. But sea vegetables are rich in iodine, and that does help. That is what the body is lacking in most cases where people have goiter. So you want to have things like sea moss, kelp, seaweed, those sort of things that will help to give the body the iodine it needs.
Yeah. Also be eating a lot of food that are producing the goiter, making things worse. So there are quite a few vegetables that they'll probably want to eliminate from the diet while doing this. So a consultation would definitely be the right way to go in order to establish what are some of the things that are causing this problem.
Okay, thank you. Egg, I'm just going to do this last one. I'm not sure if you've seen any, but I'm just going to address Michael. He's asking, how do you book a full colon and liver cleanse and the cost? Michael, we had a few individuals on our platform before. We had one from Lucille from Manor House and Louise from Mercy's Door Ministries, and they do these type of cleanses. So what we'll have to do is get you in touch with give you their contact information, and then they'll be able to, well, it depends what part actually of the world you are. So if you're in the UK, they are in the UK. So it depends on where you are, but we can get you in touch with them, and they do these cleanses as well. If you're not comfortable to do it by yourself, they can help you as well. Edgar, over to you.
Okay, I've got another question. It says, thank you for the presentation. It said, I've got swollen lymph under my armpits and swollen legs, and they get numb. Can you advise if I take a colon cleanse and a liver cleanse, will that help my condition?
I think that will definitely help, but just listening, I'm not sure the finer detail, but that does seem like he's experiencing some amount of lymph stagnation. And if that person who's asking the question, go back to the first presentation on YouTube, they will see lots of things that we mentioned that can help to get the lymph moving. We talk about hydration, we talk about exercise, deep breathing, getting a simple thing like a rebounder, or if you've already got like a trampoline and bounce on it like 15 minutes for every day. Things like that will help the lymph to move. If you avoid processed food and refined food, this will also help. So again, if that person wants to talk with us and a bit further, then you could give the, just contact TTI, you'll get our details, and we could actually just talk about what could help.
Yeah, and when our body gets to that stage where we start experiencing soul and lymph nodes, it's a clear indication that the body is in a very acute inflammatory state, and that is something that you want to address as quickly as possible before things really get out of hand, because it's an indication that things aren't looking too good inside the body while that is happening.
Okay, I've got two here. This one, I'll say this one quickly. She's asking, can you share the slide that you showed on the liver cleanse? I think it's one of the slides that you did. She's saying, could you put the slide up again for her?
Okay, I'll get that up in a minute.
While you're looking at that one, I've got here, the person is asking about the pituitary gland and saying, whereabouts do you put the castor oil pack? Where do you put it exactly to actually help to relieve the problem?
Well, the pituitary gland is towards the front, of your head. So if you're going to use a castor oil pack, it will have to be just up over this area, the front of your head.
Okay. All right, thank you. Let's see.
Sorry, Edgar, can I just to clarify, the person who's asking for a slide that has to do with the...
She's saying the liver cleanse, and also...
Oh, we didn't put any direction for that, because that would have to be under maybe consultation, because while the liver cleanse is very good to do, it needs some, expert advice. I wouldn't want to just say, just now, out how to carry out the liver cleanse. There are different ways, and it depends on individual circumstance. And if it's not administered properly, it can cause issues. So that's a slide with a liver cleanse, but I've not put direction as how to do it.
Sure. Okay. I've got somebody who says, I don't have thyroids, what can I do? I'm not quite sure what they're saying. I'm not sure what that is.
The thyroidectomy that the person has had?
It's in the chat, but the person says, I don't have thyroids. And she talks about, or he talks about, something at the back of the knee. So I'm not quite sure.
Is that the lymph nodes at the back of the knees talking about?
Okay.
That was to do with the bakers. So one is to do with the thyroids. What can they do? Because they don't have any. And the other one is a different person, Edgar. It comes.
Sorry. Okay.
Behind the knee area, the baker's cyst, I'm assuming it was.
All right.
The last thing about the ablation of the thyroid. Normally, if someone does have a thyroid gland, that the doctors would normally give synthetic forms to the body to carry on function. So that would definitely need a medical doctor.
Giovanni, change. Let's see what he's doing. We go, because we've looked ahead some proof a little bit.
Lewis, can you mute, please?
Ezra, that's not a good idea, is it?
Lewis,
Exactly.
Carry on, carry on, Miriam.
Okay, so this person is saying I'm on levothyrox. Yes, so that is synthetic thyroid, synthetic thyroxine. That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Okay. Another person is asking, can you do the spelling for is it Coraline? Could you spell it again for them?
Okay,
Oh.
CHOLINE, choline.
Yes.
CHOLINE.
Okay, thank you. I've got here somebody saying, what is the cause of white spots in your bottom? I don't quite get that one. But obviously it's the person saying they're getting white spots. I don't know. Maybe it needs more detail. I don't know if you know anything.
Yeah,
about
that's a consultation.
Okay.
That's definitely a consultation.
Okay. Let me carry on, see what else I've got.
There's a few on YouTube, Edgar.
Okay, what have you got on YouTube?
On YouTube, well, someone's asking, how can we help those who are taking alcohol for long and I found it difficult to stop? Their son and husband are alcoholics. And what can they do? Yeah, so they're asking what can they do? So maybe that's
there are no fix to that one. That is something that will take some time because it will require consultation because it could be that that person is deficient in certain vitamins and mineral. And I find the same thing for people who smoke as well. So normally, one of the best things to do really is to have the body fully detox and then mineralize the body and help to find suitable alternatives for that individual. But it would really need a, why is the person drinking? Is it because they're stressed? Is it because they're preoccupied? A number of issues that would need to be looked at. So to just say something off the top of my head, it's a little bit difficult. So I would say, we're more than willing to do a consultation with that individual and see how best we can help them through counseling to, wean themselves off that.
Yeah, so again, you want to think about what's the person's emotional state, why is the person drinking in the first place, so all that information needs to be ascertained so we know, why before you can actually,
Somebody's mentioned about consultation cost. If they get in contact with True Temperance, then we can hook them up with you and they can discuss how things can be sorted out. I've got here, it says, where can I get DMSO roll-on? I don't know if you know of a place to get that, or Shirley does. I don't know.
Maybe try health food stores or maybe Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon is always a better place to go. Based on my past experience, there are not many health food shops in the UK that sell DMSO or DMSO roll-on. Here I find in Jamaica, it's more readily available in the health food shops. So the best place really to go is to Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And if, another question, it says the person has got back pain. Hang on. It's the person says they've got a bad back, and they've tried painkillers, but it's not working. What would you suggest? So they've got a bad back, they're taking painkillers, it's still not working. What would your recommendation be?
I think that would need a consultation as well.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, for the bad back, because it could be different thing. It could be something. It could be some injury where the person maybe needs some physiotherapy and maybe see a chiropractor or something like that to do some adjustment. Or some people might say I'm having a bad back, but it could also be like the kidneys that we found in many places.
Especially if it's in the lower back region on both sides. If it's the upper near the just the area of the rib cage on the right side, that could be as a result of the liver. So we'd probably need more information in order to to make any recommendation to that person.
So if the person who's put the question in again, if you get in contact with TTI, we can see if we can hook you up. Okay.
Yeah.
Shirley, have you got anything more on YouTube? You're muted, Shirley. You're muted.
Sorry. So will cayenne pepper irritate the stomach? How best to use it? Will it be okay to eat with food? And what about putting cayenne pepper in water with lemon juice on an empty stomach?
It depends on what that person trying to achieve. Cayenne pepper is very medicinal. It's rich in vitamin C. Cayenne pepper, believe it or not, can actually be used as a diagnoser to diagnose certain condition in the body, to know where there are abnormalities in the body. For instance, if you feel there's something going on in your chest region, one of the things that you can do, you can actually take a bit of cayenne pepper in water.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Can you recast the question? Because I think what the person wants to know, if cayenne pepper is irritating. Can you just recast that question, please, Charlene?
Yes, it's will cayenne pepper irritate the stomach? How best to use cayenne pepper? They're asking, will it irritate the stomach, and will it how best to use it? So how best to take it internally? Will they eat it with the food, or what about putting it with lemon, water, cayenne pepper, and drink it as well on an empty stomach? So I'm guessing they're trying to consume it, but different ways or how they can do it because of the irritation, whether it will irritate.
Well, usually cayenne pepper is not an irritant like ordinary peppers that people use for spice. So it shouldn't cause irritation of the stomach. If it does, it means that something else is going on in the stomach. And again, how you use cayenne pepper is dependent on what you want to achieve. So the person have to be clear as to what is it they want to achieve with the cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
Okay. And if someone is on breast cancer medication, can liver cleansing or other cleansing be okay, or would it wash away their medication?
It all depends. It all depends. And for me, I would have to know the medication and to know whatever cleanse they're doing, it will actually complement and support whatever else they're doing. So it's a little bit difficult to say off the top of my head, because I would probably need to look at those medication they're taking. What is it it's trying to achieve? And can it really complement the cleanse that they're doing? One other thing I know though is doing things like coffee enemas, most time it won't really interfere with other medication that you're taking. If you talk about certain cleanse that has charcoal in it, for example, the charcoal is going to neutralize the toxin in the medication. So you have to be careful there. Grapefruit does the same thing. So it all depends. The grapefruit will also neutralize the, some of that toxin in the medication. So it all depends. I'll have to know what medication, what it's comprised of, what is it they're trying to achieve.
Okay, thank you. And someone is asking the time of day, when it comes to the lemon and the olive oil, what time of day to consume it? Can we use the lemon and the olive oil? So I think that's to do with the, what was it again?
Well, that has to do with the liver cleanse.
Yes, the liver cleanse.
Okay, like I had mentioned on the slide, that it can be used in different ways. You can have a gentler form, and you have more aggressive form, which is an overnight form. So again, this needs some consulting. We need to get background to the person before we can talk about how to carry out the liver flush. Because sometimes when you're flushing the liver, you're also aiding the gallbladder. And if it's not properly done, you can find that if they are large, like gallstones or liver stones, they can get trapped in the duct and the pain is excruciating and will need medical attention. And that is the reason why we're not kind of giving out this kind of information just like so, because we don't want people to just hear half of what we said and just go ahead and run with it and then get themselves into problem. So that's one of the reasons why we're not saying too much more. It has to be on a personalized level.
Yeah, and without consultation, I would say just stick to things like dandelion, like we've mentioned, those bitter herbs or bitter vegetables. Stick to those for the time being until a consultation is done.
Okay, thank you. I know we have gone over time because it's 5:15. But those who wanted the slides, because someone's asking for the coffee enema slide, and I know Edgar mentioned regarding the liver and the bile cleanse, I think it was, slides. So what we could do is probably send it to them separately. So I know the person that's messaged on YouTube, so I can send it to that person separately. Right. And then the other person, I'm not sure who that person is, but because I want to see if they can get the slide again, please. Or when you're ready, or maybe towards the end, if they stay behind, maybe they can have a look.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but I know there is quite a few that came through again. But what we'll do is maybe if these individuals can contact us, and then we'll be able to get them in touch with you, Noelle Marie.
That's fine.
Okay. I can also send you the presentation, Charlene. So whoever needs the slide, or may contact you, then the slides will be there.
That's fine. That's fine.
I've got two quick questions, and that will be the last two from me. One says, well, one of the persons is asking, is it safe to ingest castor oil? That's question one. And then the second one is, can you take milk thistle in capsules?
Yes.
Which one are you on?
You can take milk thistle in capsules, or you can boil the herb and consume it. In terms of the castor oil, you have to be very careful with the castor oil. Like I said earlier on, you want to use castor oil that is organic and it's cold pressed. And I've used castor oil as part of my gallbladder flush. But again, only small amounts can be taken. I wouldn't just say to somebody, go ahead and drink castor oil like that, because it can be very dangerous. People will tell you that, adults, will tell you that when they were growing up, castor oil, a spoonful of castor oil in some water was something that they would take on a regular basis to sort of flush the system out. So yes, it can be taken, but please ensure that the castor oil you're taking is organic and it's cold press.
And not the black Jamaican castor oil. Because sometimes there's a clear one, yes, and I think that's the one you should use, not the Jamaican black castor oil. And someone was asking about the DMSO, and I just pretty much just grab one. This is what it looks like, the DMSO roll. And I know there's restriction on some of these items, and perhaps only people who maybe have a license can maybe access some of these sometimes, but I think you also can get it on Amazon. So do have a look around. I mean, this one we got it from United States, but I did see them in the health food shop here in Jamaica.
All right, very good. I think that's about it, is it, Shirley? Do you think?
I think so. Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's it. I can't see. Someone, Sharon did put on in the chat regarding our cupboard treats, our cupboard remedies that we had on our True Temperance International session regarding the cayenne pepper. So that can be accessed if anyone, the person who would like to know more about the cayenne pepper, we have got a video on our YouTube channel underneath True Temperance International, underneath Cupboard Treats or Cupboard Remedies. Oh, someone's asked one thing, sorry, no, Marie. Someone's asking, elephantiasis, is it caused by the lymphatic dysfunction?
It could be a part of the lymphatic, but it's also research has shown it can also be an infestation of parasites that can lead to that as well. Elephantiasis, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And remember, one of the things that we said, parasite infestation in the body cause lymph flow, slows down the flow of lymph as well, because it actually makes it quite thick as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. But that's all for me. Over to you, Edgar.
All right, thank you very, very much, Noel and Marie, for the second presentation.
Yes,
of
the
lymphatic system. Excellent. Lots of really, really good information. It would be nice if you could come over to England and stay with us. But I'm sure you're not going to do that. But we're really happy for what you've done today and what you have done in the past. And by God's grace, what you're going to do in the future. So thank you very, very much. And
sorry.
What was that, Shirley?
Sorry, is there any challenge?
I don't know. Noel, have you got something?
Okay.
Or Marie?
Perhaps your challenge could be how you could include some more bitter herbs or bitter foods in your diet. Remember, bitter foods, things like rockets, bitter melon. What else, Noel?
Rocket, bitter wood, Jamaican bitter wood.
Yeah, you can get some milk thistle, maybe even just have get some milk thistle, the herb, if you want, and just keep that in some hot water and have that tea maybe every morning. Substitute, if you're having coffee or having some other hot beverage, you could actually substitute this, but see how you could incorporate some maybe more bitter food, bitter herbs, some of these liver herbs that support the liver. Incorporate that in your routine and your diet this week to see how once you can actually boost the production of bile, it will actually help with the digestion of the fat, and it's also helping to remove the toxins from the liver. So that's an excellent way to support your liver. So just use any of the things that we have shared today to support your liver, and just remember also to keep yourself well hydrated.
Okay. And so would you, I'm sure I saw one of your slides, if somebody did like put aloe vera in the diet regular for a period, would that be something that you would recommend as a kind of cleanse?
Yeah, one of the things, yes. One of the simple things that can be done, it's almost effortlessly done. You can get some aloe vera, get about 4 inches of an aloe vera leaf, and just slice that up very thin. Leave it on your kitchen counter overnight. Put it in a glass and pour water on it, and drink that water first thing in the morning. You can squeeze a lemon in it if you want, and drink that in the morning. And that will be a very gentle cleanse that will help to clean up the system, and also by extension, cleaning the liver.
And I think someone just put in the chat, what about Cersei? Yes, all those bitter herb does support the liver. All right, so use what you have readily. If you've got Cersei, use it. If you
rice bitters is another one that can be used as well.
Okay, somebody's asking, what part of Jamaica are you in?
We're in St. Andrew.
We're in the hills of St. Andrew.
All right, there you go. I think you probably make some people a bit envious, but there you go. Well, thank you very much for your time and for the presentation. It's been excellent, and we'll look forward to you doing another presentation by God's grace. And look after yourselves in sunny Jamaica.
Oh,
Right.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Edgar.
We'll be in touch soon. Thank you.
Okay.
And if you could send
Okay, thank you.
your presentation, that would be good, just in case somebody might
Yes.
want to look at the
Yes,
slides.
we'll email it over. Yeah.
Okay, so
All
yes, the TTI. Okay,
All right.
then God bless.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Thank you, Noah.
You're
Marie.
welcome. Thank you
Okay,
very much,
thank
Shirley.
you.
God bless.
All right. Take care. Shirley, is there anything you have to add before we close?
No. No.
I'm
No,
gonna
don't
put
have
this.
anything.
I'm gonna put the slide up quickly. There was a slide that we should have put up. I'm gonna put that up now. If you can talk to it, Shirley.
Okay.
So I'll put that up, and I'm also gonna probably put up next week's slide as well. So if you just, I'm gonna share. Here we go.
Okay, so this is one of the slides that we missed off. Manor House, Lucille spoke on our platform a couple of times on TTI, and they have a lifestyle centre in the UK, in Stoke-on-Trent, and they have a lifestyle centre, a residential, July 4th to the 14th, and then another one, 29th to the 8th of September. And they do all sorts there. They do, I think, cooking classes and treatments and detoxes, all sorts. So there's also, I think, I'm not sure if this is even on or Joan, but they do even, I think, days as well, day sessions that you can pop in and, of course, make a booking, but go in for the day as well. But this is the residential for 10 days, and it's restoring you back to health. And I know there's been tremendous testimonies from individuals, clients coming from Manor House. So please contact them. I think it's somewhere, oh, it's way at the bottom, but it's at the bottom. If you're on our TTI Telegram group or WhatsApp group, it will be posted there where it can be shown a bit better, but it's at the bottom of this poster. But what you could do, actually, you can go to manorhousehealth.co.uk. Yeah, manorhousehealth.co.uk. So MANNA househealth.co.uk.
All right, thank you. I'm just gonna show the slides again. If you could just talk me through it, Shirley, for what's coming up next week, and also for the weekend, but also in the week.
Okay, so next week we have Dr. Gandhi, and he will be discussing about gallstones with us next week, and Maria and Noel touched on that as well, and regarding when it comes to the liver, the gallstones, and how important it is really to even remove it. I know some people struggle and they have so much pain when it comes to gallstones. So Dr. Gandhi is going to be with us next week and tell us all about gallstones and also remedies of removal as well. This is for those who are on YouTube. This is our URL link to put into your web browser to join our Telegram group. This is where we discuss about health. So we have a separate one for women and one for men. And we talk about health, the challenges. So the challenges, what Noah Marie just said to us, we can discuss that on the chat about different herbs that people may be taking to do a good cleanse when it comes to the liver. And then we have the spiritual health. And this is where we have words of encouragement, the links, the recordings of the Bible study that we have on a Tuesday. So please join us if you are not yet joined, and please join us on these platforms. This is our donations page. For those who weren't on earlier, we do thank you for the donations that we have received. This is our PayPal link if you wish to donate to us. we don't just have a Saturday show, we also do other activities within the week, hold different Zoom sessions, whether it's the essential oil, the Bible studies, we do homeless projects, handing out literature, hopefully health classes and lectures physically. We do quite a few things, quite a range. So if you feel impressed to donate to us, it's on PayPal, TTI 2020. If you don't have PayPal, please get in touch with us and we will give you an alternative method. And here we are with our weekly Bible study. Different name, different face, but it will be with Alvin McQueen, Tuesday coming at 7 p.m. And we are focusing around the sanctuary. And then on a Thursday, this will be part 2. Part 1, we had a kind of like a foundation of essential oils in children, the dosage, how to use essential oils on children, and the safety methods. But this Thursday, we'll be talking about the different health issues that children may face when it comes to asthma, hay fever, allergies, eczema, bug bites, bedwetting, sleepless nights, ADHD. So we're going to choose quite a few health challenges that parents may face when it comes to children and how essential oils can help. And then this one, it will be the Tuesday after, so 29th of June, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. This is with AHR, so Association of Health Reformers, and they are doing a webinar of how to establish, how to set up, I don't have my friend with me with the words, but how to set up a practice. So if those who may have done therapy, is into therapy or has done medical missionary work in the health field, this webinar will be for you to join. There is a price, but due to this special day, we will discuss it in our Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups. You can even email us or email ahreformers@gmail.com, and they will give you more information regarding it.
Thank you very much, Shirley.
You're welcome.
You can have a drink of water now. I just want to thank everybody that's joined in with us today, and all the YouTube listeners, watchers. We hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for being with us, and we're going to come back next week, unless you join us in the week. With regards to the adverts that Shirley just mentioned, Bible studies, essential oils, and there's one more. And you can also get us on Telegram. And I like Telegram because that's like it can be like a big massive group. So if you've got a question or you just want to say hi, you can go on Telegram, or you've got something you want to share, you can do that on Telegram. So that's there. But thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to sign off. I just want to say goodbye to the YouTube viewers. Say goodbye, Shirley.
Bye, YouTube. Thank you, our YouTube family, for joining us.
That's right. And we'll see you either on Zoom in the week, or we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Yes.
God bless and take care, and hope you have a good week. So I believe we're the YouTube